Welcome to Shujin Academy VGM Club. I'm Professor Tom, your faculty sponsor. What does it mean to be happy? I'm not sure. It's one of those things where I only know it when I feel it. I'm not always a cheerful person. I tend to be a little too driven and goal-oriented. I read a book over the summer called The Happiness Advantage by happiness researcher and former Harvard professor Sean Achor. It's all about ways to help yourself be happier, and I read it as part of a campaign to make myself a more cheerful person. I don't think the campaign was an unqualified success, but it has definitely helped me be a little less dour in my day-to-day life. Today's opening song was Pretty Girl from Lunar, Silver Star Story, composed by Noriyuki Iwadare. Silver Star Story is a PlayStation and Sega Saturn remake of the original Lunar for the Sega CD. It's quite perky and upbeat, and that's what this episode is all about, happy feel-good VGM. This episode is the opposite of episode 11, which was all about depressing VGM. I was actually going to do it a few episodes ago, but I didn't feel like I was in quite the right headspace, so I pushed it back until today, when I'm feeling much more cheerful. For our first block, we'll hear 5 optimistic songs from the Sega Genesis. First up, there's Stage 3, Sunken Ship, from McDonald's Treasureland Adventure, a shockingly good licensed game developed by Treasure, one of the premier dev houses for the 16-bit Sega system. Its composer was Aki Hata. Second, it'll be the very positive Overworld map theme from Crusader of Centy, a top-down action RPG composed by Motokazu Shinoda. Third, we'll hear California Lemonade from Data East's billiards classic Side Pocket, composed by Imi Shimizu and Masaaki Iwasaki. It's one of those games with a soundtrack that has no business being as good as it is, and its sequel, Minnesota Fat's Pool Legend, also has a fantastic soundtrack. Fourth, we'll hear Step on Beat from the Genesis port of OutRun, composed by Masayoshi Ishii. This is a bonus song that Sega added for the home version of the game. It's excellent and appropriately peppy, just like driving along the beach in the summertime. And finally in this block, we'll hear Wall Tune from Tommy Tallarico's soundtrack for Cool Spot, another licensed game with a fantastic soundtrack. Let's hear the music! Those songs were Stage 3, Sunken Ship, from McDonald's Treasureland Adventure, Overworld Map, from Crusader of Centy, California Lemonade, from Side Pocket, Step on Beat, from OutRun, and Wall Tune, from Cool Spot. All of them are for the Sega Genesis. Since our first segment was built around a bunch of cheerful songs for a Sega system, I'm building my second block all around upbeat tunes for Nintendo's consoles. We'll kick this block off with Upscale Harbor Town from Treasure Hunter G, a late-period Super Famicom RPG from Square that's only been seen here in North America via fan translations. This song is from composer Mitsuhito Tanaka, who's inexplicably listed as John P. in the game's credits. I also played a song from Treasure Hunter G on episode 11, which was my ominous and depressing music episode, which makes an interesting parallel. Next up, it'll be In a Town from the NES version of Dragon Quest IV from deeply problematic and incredibly important composer Koichi Sugiyama. This song is a super cheerful town theme that's really positive. It's pretty close to the platonic form of a happy JRPG village song. For the third song, it'll be Country from the Who Framed Roger Rabbit game for the NES, one of multiple licensed NES games where composer David Wise turned in a soundtrack that was much better than the typical schlock you'd expect from a cash-in title. Everything on this soundtrack is great, so please check it out sometime. The fourth and fifth songs in this block are both from Etrian Odyssey 3 for the DS, composed by the incomparable Yuzo Koshiro. Song 4 is Town, Sunlight on the Water, and Song 5 is Town, Between the Azure Skies and Seas, and I'm pretty sure that I'm on my own Etrian Odyssey to play every single song from the first 3 games in this series. Alright, let's get happy and listen to some tunes. Those songs were Upscale Harbortown from Treasure Hunter G, In a Town from the NES release of Dragon Quest IV, Country from Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the NES, Town Sunlight on the Water from Etrian Odyssey 3, and Town Between the Azure Skies and Seas from Etrian Odyssey 3. This episode of Shujin Academy VGM Club is brought to you by 1-Ups. They say you only live once, but with a 1-Up, that's just not true. With a 1-Up, if you die, you get to bounce back to life at a convenient nearby spawn point. And I don't know about you, but a crippling dread of my own mortality permeates deep into my being, so finding a 1-Up sounds pretty amazing. Grab a 1-Up today, available hidden in perilous locations near you. Now, back to the show. I don't know if the songs I've chosen for this final music segment count as having a theme or not, but I do know that you'll be hearing some top-shelf feel-good positive VGM. To start things off, we'll have the exceptionally perky Theme of Roll vocal from the original Marvel vs. Capcom. Roll is one of this game's joke characters, and she's virtually identical to Mega Man, except she's not nearly as good. But her theme song is S tier, definitely the best character theme in the game. Vocals for this one are from Yoshino Aoki, and the song was composed by Yoshinori Ono, Yuko Takehara, and Masato Kouda. After that, it'll be School Days from the PSP remake of Persona, a song that's so incredibly good that it makes me want to see if I can get the PSP I got from my brother-in-law working. I think I'd actually be better off getting an emulator for it, though. Anyway, this is a Shoji Meguro jam that almost went on his Spotlight episode, but I decided to use a different song to represent Persona 1. Vocals on this are from Yumi Kawamura, and the lyrics are from Shigeo Komori, Reiko Tanaka, or maybe both. Speaking of Persona games on the PSP, the third song in this block is Sun from Persona 3 Portable. It's also by Shoji Meguro, and this is one of his brassy urban electronica tracks that feel like a great spring day in the city. It's also one of a handful of songs that are exclusive to the PSP version of the game. It does not appear in the original release for the PS2. But wait, there's yet another Persona song in this block, because I really like the Persona soundtracks and I want to share them with the world. Song 4 is Cinematic Tale from Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth, composed by Atsushi Katajo with lyrics from Jasmine Webb. Persona Q2 is a game where the cast of Persona 5, Persona 4, and Persona 3 all go on a quest together, and for this song, they had Persona 3 vocalist Yumi Kawamura, Persona 4 vocalist Shihoko Hirata, and Persona 5 vocalist Lin all collaborate, along with a little help from Mayumi Fujita. And for the fifth and final song in this block, it'll be The Second Truth from the Left from Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo, composed by Hiroki Kikuta. This song finishes out the block because it's used in the game's ending. Believe it or don't, this is the first time I have played a Secret of Mana track on this show, which is a surprise because that soundtrack is phenomenal. I can't think of a better way to close out the block than this track. It sounds like an exciting new day is dawning on a hopeful world. Alright, music time now.
Right from the start, something set you apart.
Those songs were Theme of Roll, vocal, from Marvel vs. Capcom, School Days, from the PSP release of Persona, Sun, from Persona 3 Portable for the PSP, Cinematic Tale, full version, from Persona Q2, and The Second Truth from the Left, from the SNES release of Secret of Mana. That's the show. If you want to reach me, you can email me at shujinacademyvgmclub@gmail.com. Find my channel on YouTube by searching for Shujin Academy VGM Club, or use the link in the show notes. I'm on Twitter at ShujinVGM and on Instagram at Shujin Academy VGM Club. Please leave me a 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you're finding this episode. Look for new episodes on Thursdays whenever I get them done, which is typically every 2 or 3 weeks. Special thanks for this episode goes out to fellow VGM podcaster Jameson of Bar Silence Podcast for contributing cover art. You can and should find Bar Silence wherever you download podcasts, and you can find him on Twitter at BarSilenceVGM. I've got one last song for you, and it may well be the happiest VGM tune ever composed. It's called Cherry Blossom Color Season, and it's from Katamari Damacy, and it features an adorable children's choir. Vocals are credited to Katamari Tai Jr., with lyrics and composition from Yu Miyake. I don't think it gets any happier than this, so enjoy! Thanks for listening. I'm Professor Tom, and I'll see you next time on Shujin Academy VGM Club.